All right. Okay, it is time for November 2023 numbers. I waited a little bit longer to make sure everybody got all their closed sales in, and it is time to go take a look at those numbers and see what our local market here on the Connecticut Shoreline is doing. I'm Dan Lussier, local realtor here on the Connecticut Shoreline, and I'm going to bring you today 4 towns. We're going to do East Haven, we're going to do Branford, we're going to do Guilford, and we're going to do Madison. If any of these towns are not within the towns that you're looking in and you would like some information or this data on your town, do me a favor and down below you'll see my contact information. Please feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to go over the numbers with you. There's a link down there that you can put yourself on my schedule and set up a time. We can do a Zoom call and I can go over these numbers for you. So let's get into the numbers. So as you can see, we are month over month in East Haven, we're up plus 9.7%. Now you can see here the median prices went up from October, 332 500, and we went up to 340,000. So that's pretty good. Year over year, it's continuing to climb. If I do a 5-year back, which we can do, so you can kind of get an idea of, everybody says the market may be coming down, and there is just no sign of that. It's just going up and up. Now, typically in this time of the year, we see things start to drop, and that is not the case with East Haven. East Haven is making a pretty good climb here. Now, if we go back to January, we see here November, it dropped from November to December in 2022. And then it came back up in January. So real estate is hyper-local. Every town's going to be a little different, as you're going to see when we go to the next few towns. But let's go into new listings. So new listings, we have a drop, minus 4.2. So inventory, as you probably heard a million times over, it is still very low. So we only had 23 new listings in the month of November for 2023. If we go back to November of 2022, there was 24. So it's down very little. Again, when you come up to the winter months, December bottoms out, and then we start seeing more inventory come on in January after the holidays. So let's head on over to pending sales. So pending sales are up plus 5.6% year over year now. And from last month, we've actually dropped in pending sales. We had 22 in October and we are down to 19 in November. So if we go back last year, where is last year? So last year we had 18 in November. And see, it just kept going down. It bottomed out in February, and then we started to make a climb back out for pending sales. So if we go on over to closed sales are up 5% over year from last October. They are down from October to November. So from last year, November, we are up 5%, but coming from October to November, it did drop down. This has a lot to do with the interest rates did make that climb, so that makes sense for these numbers to start dropping down a little bit. And right now, as of today, they have come down quite a bit, so we're gonna hopefully see a spike in closed sales in the next coming months. So let's take a look at days on market. So days on market, we increased quite a bit. It's 118% increase year over year for days on market. So we got 24 days on market. Now, what this means for a home, somebody who's selling, if you're thinking of selling, you want to keep these numbers in mind, especially the days on market, because it'll help with your plans if you have to be out at a certain time, or if you plan on listing maybe in the next couple of months. you want to talk to your agent about days on market because that'll help you kind of plan backwards from there. So these are numbers that you definitely want to take into consideration. If you are a buyer, what you want to do is, to get the best deal possible, is start looking at these houses that are on the market for 20, 30, 40 days. And chances are they don't have a lot of activity on them, and it may get you a better deal. So with that said, this is the median days on market. Let's take a look at the average days on market. Just almost as bad. So it's plus 66.7%. All right, so let's swing back here and move on to Branford. What is Branford doing? All right, so Branford numbers. It looks like we got some of these big spikes here in Branford in February and in September of 2023. But right now, we are up 27.4% year over year from last November. And we're also up from October. So the interest rates, they didn't really, a lot of prices went up in Branford. This is why it's so important to know your hyper-local market, because it's completely different than the national averages. So you can see over a 5-year period here that we just have this, we have a lot of, this is all month over month, but on the average, coming all the way through here into November of 2023, we've made some significant gains as far as prices in Branford. Now, the median prices in Branford is $608,000. So let's go to new listings, which, like I thought, are way down. Again, inventory, there was only 10 new listings that came on in Branford. These are all single family, by the way. I did not mix in condos. Again, if you want to do some condos, please reach out. I'd be happy to help get you the numbers on those. So single family homes here, year over year, we are down 47.4% for the listings in Branford. They are, right now, there was only 10 new listings. Last year at this time, we had 19 new listings. So inventory is still very, very, very tight. And that's why you're seeing the prices stay on the high side. Now, the two different things that are happening right now are, we have a seasonal correction, which always happens every time around the holidays, where inventory drops. Usually prices drop as well, but we're not seeing that. Prices are still holding strong. There's still a lot of buyers out there, even with the high interest rates. However, those rates keep coming down. We're going to see some massive momentum going into January and February, where normally it's not the greatest. As you can see here, December, it did have a jump last year into January, and then it went back down into February. So that's pretty interesting right there. All right, so let's move on to pending sales. So things under contract. Right now, we are down 29.4%. Last year, we were at 17 homes under contract in the pending status. Now we are down to 12. So what that means is we have less homes under contract than we did last year. And I think we're going to see a big difference when the numbers come out for January. December, typically, in this time of the year, you can see here, typically we go all the way down and then it starts to pick back up in March. However, if the feds keep dropping rates and things keep happening for the good in the rate department, you may start to see that these numbers, the home pending sales, are going to start to climb. But nobody has a crystal ball, so we'll have to see what happens there. Closed sales. Closed sales are down 45.8% year over year. And let's see. So this year we had 13 closed sales. Last year, this time, we had 24 closed sales. So again, quite a drop. Let's take a look at days on market. And days on market are starting to increase, which is quite normal this time of the year. So we are up 105% from last year, 70 days. So if you're thinking about listing soon, you definitely want to keep these numbers in mind where days on market are. Last year, this time we were 34 days. So it's doubled since last year as far as days on market. So it may take a little bit longer to get that home sold. So if, again, be prepared. This is something you want to talk to your agent about so you can get an idea of how long it may take. But right now we're looking at a 70-day mark. All right, let's move on to Guilford. And our median price in Guilford for November is $589,950, and it is the same as it was last year. So if we go back to last year, November, $590,000. So Guilford hasn't had any increase year over year in the month of November. And you can see here this massive drop last year from December to February. Guilford took quite a hit in that area. So let's take a look at new listings. They are way down. We are down 31% for new listings. So we had 13 in November of this year and 19 in last year. So again, you can see here, Guilford's following kind of the same trend. You get a little bump up here, and then we start to see in the summer months where things hopefully start to climb a little higher. We'll see how this year goes. If things pick up a little bit faster in January and February, there's still so much pent up buyer demand that we're just going to have to keep an eye on it. So let's look at the pending sales. They are also down they are down 12.5% year over year. Let's see, what was last year? Last year, November, there were 24, and we have 21 right now. So that's not horrible pending sales for right now in Guilford. Let's look at closed. Closed sales, we are down just 4.3%. We had 22 closings in November this year. Last year, we had 23. So we got days on market. So the days on market here, they are not up as bad. It looks like homes in Guilford are selling a little bit faster. 42 days. It's only up 10%, so that's not too bad compared to East Haven, Branford. They were over 100% increase in days on market. So Guilford is still selling within, that 30 to 50 day mark, and they're not doing so bad. So last year in November, it was 38 days. So they're pretty similar into how many days on market for Guilford. All right, let's get on to Madison and wrap this up. All right, Madison. All right, Madison, you have gained 22.9% in median sale price. Not bad. The median sale price in Madison is $725,000. This time last year, it was $590,000. So that's quite a big increase year over year. There has been a steady incline here in Madison, as you can see, throughout the last 5 years. So Madison, you're doing quite well. I'm gonna guess that the new listings are pretty low, and they are. But they're up 36% from last year. So you can see October to November, they did climb a little bit. You had this little drop off here from September to October. But let's see, November. So you had 11 new listings in November of last year, and this year we have 15. So let's go take a look at pending sales. All right, pending sales are down 30%. So the pending sales, you had 14 this year. It did climb a little bit from October. From September, made that big drop off. Actually, starting in August, it looks like it dropped off. And last year you were at 20 for pending sales. So that's not doing too good on the pending sales. Definitely dropped to 30%. So let's take a look at closed. All right, so closed sales, there were 15 closed sales. We're down 14.3% month over month from last year. So we had the 18 here and then 21 last year on closed sales. All right, and let's take a look at days on market. Average days on market, they're selling pretty fast in Madison, minus 23%. That's pretty good. I mean, they're selling for average days on market are under 30. That's really good. So if you're somebody who needs to sell pretty quick, Madison homes look like they're going fairly quickly. You can see here last year in November, if I can find November. November last year was 26 days. So it looks like this time of the year for Madison, they sell pretty quick. It looks like you get a big jump up here when we get into January. They sit on the market, and then we start coming back down in the spring months. So that is it for those 4 towns. Again, my name's Dan Lussier. I'm a local realtor here on the Connecticut Shoreline. And if you would like any of the numbers for any other towns that you may live in or you're thinking of moving to, feel free to reach out to me down there on the description. You'll find my number. You can email, call, text, or even put yourself on my calendar and we can do a Zoom call just like this. No obligation. And please be sure to hit that subscribe and like button for me. It helps me motivate me to do more of these, and we will see you next month. Take care.